You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Athletes. Featuring in-depth interviews with athletes and members of the sports industry. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Athletes.
Hey, what's up? This is the Branded Athlete. So glad that you guys have decided to join us on this phenomenal day. I'm your host, Kevin John, the man with everybody's favorite vest. Standing to the left of me is the man with everyone's favorite cleavage, the one, the only, Ben Bateman.
Well, you know, Kev, I think I took care of my cleavage today. I wore the buttons closed, you know, no tie. Trying to respect the image. So
no tie, you never wear a tie.
Yeah, it's true, I never wear a tie.
But Ben, I don't know. I noticed there's one button that gets lower and lower every time.
It's just a different suit, guys. I just try to change it up every time. I don't lower the buttons. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
Well, Ben may know cleavage, but he definitely knows sports, and so glad to have you here.
Thank you,
Speaking of cleavage, our other co-host that we're going to be joined with, who's phenomenal, lovely, she knows sports, and she just adds so much spice and elegance to this panel. The one, the only, Brittany Johnson.
Did you guys miss me? I was gone for a whole week, and I missed you guys a lot. I was in Vegas partying. I was not sick at home because Duke won, okay? Despite what you guys might think.
Well, that's good. That's good to know you were in Vegas. And just for the fans, what were you doing other than partying in Vegas? You're out there for a really awesome...
I actually signed a non-disclosure, so I cannot talk about it. But I was at a golf tournament hosted by somebody very big and popular, and it was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's really awesome. Go ahead, Ben.
And she was just taking care of her Instagram profile is basically what she was
Yes.
doing.
I got like 300 new followers on Instagram, so shout out to Vegas.
Exactly, man. Every time I go to Vegas, I lose followers. So I don't know what you did, but it definitely worked out. Well, anyways, that definitely rounds out our host for the Branded Athlete. But as you know on this show, it is not just us that you look at, because we always are joined with a premier, special, swagged out athlete that happens to be in the studio. And today we are blessed to have the one, the only. He's a 7-year NFL veteran, entering his upcoming season with the one, the only, my Minnesota Vikings. Was I about to say Miami Vikings? That doesn't even work right, does it?
It doesn't.
I knew it started with the M. Minnesota Vikings, and we're blessed that he's in here. With no further ado, Captain Munnerlyn.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. To be on the show with you guys and, talk a little football, talk a little bit mess. And
Yeah, I already been cracking jokes, so you fit right in.
Yeah. Now, you guys can't see this, but Captain has on some of the most just extravagant and fashionable jeans I've ever seen. Captain, any way you can just lift one of your pant legs up so
Don't rip your jeans. But
look at that.
Yeah,
Look at those
those
jeans.
are fancy.
Fantastic. Those are good.
Kevin wants to borrow them.
Borrow some clothes.
Yes, exactly. In case you're
They
joining
might
in
be
for the
high
first
waters
time.
on you, though, Kevin. They might.
They probably will be.
I'm 5'9".
Oh, see, I'm 6'1".
Yeah, so you can't wear these.
Yeah, that is true.
Sorry,
Yeah.
bruh.
But you know what? I'll have a little bit of ankle showing. That's the style, right?
That's fashionable.
Pharrell
Just
Pharrell
roll
does
it up
it.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Dwayne
that's
Wade,
real.
all those guys do it. So
Cam
you do all
Newton,
right.
yeah, they all like that.
That is true. That is true. But we're not here to talk about Kevin's fashion or lack thereof. We're here to talk about Captain now. We're gonna get into some things with you in just a second, Captain. So stay ready on that hot seat. Because we're going to make it hot. But just real quick, this past weekend you were in Vegas as well, right?
Yes, sir.
And what were you doing out there?
My birthday. Celebrating my birthday, my 27th birthday. So
It's exciting.
yeah, I always go to Vegas. For the second year in a row, I've been to Vegas for my birthday. So I was out there having a good old time, just turning up a little and enjoying life.
Wow, so this is your 7th year in a row at Vegas. How do you switch it up or do something differently every time you go to Vegas?
It's the same thing. No, it's the same thing, but I just like going. I like going since I turned 21. When I turned 21, I went to Vegas.
Yeah.
I like to, gamble, play a little blackjack here and there, and I like to sit there and just have fun. Go to a couple pool parties and, bring my friends out there with me, and we all just enjoy it.
Now, speaking of friends, most athletes, when they go to Vegas, have these large entourages and whatnot. How many do you roll deep with?
What's the lucky number for blackjack, basically?
All right.
It's probably 7 of us.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Lucky number 7.
Yeah.
Good deal. Now, speaking of luck, we are lucky to have a random thought of the day that comes from our very own Brittany Johnson, who's going to share just some lovely thought.
Yes,
so go
I
ahead.
am. So this guy right here actually has a Smurf necklace, and
Oh.
this inspired my random thought for today.
Really? It's a Smurf random thought?
Yes, because he likes to represent the short guys in the league. So, do you guys know the shortest guy to ever play in the NFL? His name is Jack Shapiro. He played in 1929. He only played one game. He actually was on the team for a season, but only played in one game. Is 5'1".
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
5 feet and a half.
Yeah, he was a fullback.
Yeah,
he
I was
a
gonna
fullback.
say.
So he was like a shorter guy, but he played.
I'm shocked they didn't use him as the football sometimes. You know? I mean,
But
shoot.
he was a great blocker. You know, he'd just get at
He's
the
probably
knees
5 foot and a half wide, too, at that height.
Yeah,
he gotta be.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was 169 pounds, so that's pretty good for a 5
Actually,
footer.
1929.
69. Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I also wanted to mention some other notable Smurfs that are currently playing right now. You have a little Smurf Taraj here.
Oh.
'Cause he's
Smurf
5'9".
Taraj.
He's 5'9", but he's not the shortest guy. The shortest guy in the league right now is Trendon Holiday.
Faster
He's 5'5",
than fast. Yeah.
and he actually went to LSU. When
Yep.
he was at before he went to LSU, he almost lost his scholarship because Les Miles didn't believe that he could play at a college level because he was so small. But look at
Proved
him
the
now.
haters wrong.
NFL level.
Olympic,
NFL level.
Olympic level speed.
Yeah.
Sub
Yeah.
4.3, I think. Like a sub,
Yeah,
like a
I
4.29,
raced
I
him in
think.
high school.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know about him. I was like, oh, this little short guy, he's not gonna beat me. He came to Mobile, Alabama, raced
Smoked
me.
you.
Them little short legs were
I
moving,
was
huh?
like, I've never seen nobody move that fast, being that small, but he's pretty fast. And I thought Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles, yeah.
was the
He's
shortest.
5'6". So Trendon is 5'5", and then Sproles is 5'6",
Oh,
and then
okay.
also you guys know Maurice Jones-Drew just
Yeah.
retired March 15th, and he's
UCLA.
5'6", and you know he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now,
the short guys, you know, they do a little something in the league.
Yeah,
They do.
We
Yeah.
got little man syndrome, so
Now, do you think you have to work a little harder to prove yourself in the
yes,
league?
yeah, I definitely do. I used to have a problem with doing that in the beginning of my career. I used to always trying to prove people wrong. And I had this coach tell me, stop just trying to prove everybody wrong. Just prove that you was right about yourself. Because I go out there and go extra hard every day. I'm like, oh, man, I'm 5'9". I got to show them I play like I'm 6'4". But, I got tired of doing that, so I just go out there and play ball now.
that's awesome. Now, you touched on Darren Sproles, who is, I think, one of the greatest, return men. I know that you were a return man as well. Do you think that being that small makes you that much more elusive and hard to tackle?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Go guys who 6'1", 6'2", trying to come downfield, and they trying to take your head off. And you so low to the ground, they miss.
Yeah.
And then you like, oh, he didn't
Jump
get
over
me.
you.
Yeah, they jump over you and everything. So it's an advantage from here and there, especially at my position. I tell guys all the time, if I go receiver like Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald, it's easy for me to go against those guys, even though they got the height advantage. But I can get underneath those guys' pad at the line of scrimmage because
Yeah.
I'm so smaller than them. It's like they right here, and I'm like, okay, and I can just sit off in their chest. But if a jump ball situation come, I'm in trouble.
I heard that. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was wondering about, we talked about Trendon and his 40 time, and I'm wondering because the 40 time is it's what everybody references all the time, right? It's the most notable statistic
Yes.
when you're at the combine, all that.
Unless you're Jerry Rice. Go ahead.
So your combine time, you're a 4.41, right, at the combine?
Yes.
So I know there are some guys that are sub 4.4, and at your height, 4.41's like world class speed anyway. Is that like a number that you guys all know on the field? Like everybody on your team, you kind of know what each other ran, and you know who the fastest guy is.
It's kind of a crazy thing because the scouting report, when we get the scouting report, whoever we're about to play, they give you the scouting report of all the guys, and they have their 40 time on there. So, if this guy run a 4.6, I know how to play him.
Right.
I don't want to go out there and be like, oh, I thought he was going to run by me. No, I can kind of be slow play with him and, kind of mess around with him a little bit. But if this guy running a 4.4, 4.3, I got to be on my toes all the time. I got to run because he almost can make me pull that hamstring if I play around with him. So it's a little different. But guys always joke on the team about a slow 40 time. They always joke because I'm the oldest guy in my room. Last year I was the oldest guy, but I'm only 27. Yeah. And they was like, man, they was like, you old, you can't run no more and this
That's
and that.
so
These
funny.
young guys come in. I'm like, I can beat you. I still can run.
Yeah.
Because I'm,
Yeah.
because I'm going into my 7th season don't mean I can't run. So I had to prove a point to a guy one time. He gave me 2 yards in the 40. I beat him by 5.
When you
Ooh.
read that scouting report, what number does it have to be to really like get under your skin where you're a little bit worried? How low does that have to get?
It had to be a guy that say ran a 4.2. If you run a 4.2, I'm like, God.
But you don't. If 4.35 doesn't scare you.
Nah, that don't scare me because we still neck and neck.
Okay.
I was about to say, it's a good thing Chris Johnson doesn't play receiver because that's a scary 40 right
Yes,
there.
Scary 40.
Good guy.
Scary 40.
Kevin White coming up, man.
Yeah, one of my teammates, Josh Robinson, he ran 4.2 at the combine too.
Wow.
He ran 4.28.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can beat that.
Me too.
Of course, Brittany's
Yeah.
a track star on the panel here.
Exactly. Full scholarship.
There you go. All right. Well, from fast 40s to teams trying to run up the fast ladder in the Western Conference. As of recently, the Clippers just claimed the number 2 spot in the Western Conference, which was held by the Spurs just a few days ago. So we're going to get into another segment here called What Would It Take, where we are going to reference the Clippers. And Ben, just go ahead and take it away, man.
Yeah, what we like to do in this segment is we kind of propose a scenario that seems outlandish, and we ask what it would take for this to happen. Now, this one might not seem outlandish if you believe in the Clippers, which I don't, which is why I'm asking this.
Shade.
What would it take for the
Yeah.
Clippers to win a title in the next 3 seasons is the question. And I don't think they're capable, so I really want to hear if you guys have something creative to add about that.
They need LeBron James. I'm just
Yeah, that's
the
reasonable.
easy
That's
answer.
reasonable.
That is the easy
His
answer.
contract will be up in 1 more year. I mean, maybe.
You don't sign 2-year deal.
Yeah.
No, I think the Clippers are great. I mean, we kind of have an issue with like maybe having a backup for our small forward position. We just have Matt Barnes, basically. You know what I mean? There's nobody, and they've tried to bring, when they brought in like Reggie Bullock, they tried to bring him in, but then he didn't end up doing too well with the Clippers, so they let him go. So we haven't really had like a good rotation as far as that position goes. But I mean, you look at DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul, and I mean, not so much Blake this year. Blake hasn't really had the best
He's
year.
been
but,
injured.
Yeah, but I mean, Chris Paul, like, is one of the guys that leads the league in steals, and he's like an amazing. I think he's great as a point guard. And then DeAndre Jordan has been. I think he's my pick for like defensive player of the year.
Very
He's like
good.
amazing. So I just think it's little stuff. Like we're coached great, but I don't know what it is. I don't think we really need to change anything huge to the roster. I think it's more the little bad habits that we have that we need to let go of.
That's it. You
They're-
can clean up the bad habits that win a title?
So what's the bad
yeah,
habits?
but the bad habits are so hard to break, you know? It's
Yeah,
just
maybe
that they're not good at, I wouldn't say finishing games, but they lose their energy a lot.
Yeah.
They need to get and especially for as young as they are, they should have a lot more energy than they do have. But I think everyone on the team our starting 5 and a couple guys off the bench. Like, I think Crawford's like one of the best guys off the bench still. So I don't know. I don't think it's like a crazy team change. I think it's just clean up some bad habits, and that's actually probably the hardest thing to do is clean up some bad habits.
Well, speaking of getting rid of bad habits, they did get rid of their owner last year, which would have you thought would, a little do something to reinvigorate the franchise. But I personally feel, and you guys kind of alluded to this earlier, if you look at every great NBA team out there, whether it's the Hawks, the Warriors, the Spurs, and especially the Spurs, it's hard for a team to be great unless they have a deep bench. And the thing is, with the Clippers, I believe they have one of the best six-men in Jamal Crawford, but I feel that he has been more ineffective this year
And he doesn't play
versus
defense
years
at
in the
all.
back. That as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a late offensive threat. Because if you look at the last 2 seasons, Jamal Crawford actually led the league in scoring in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that a lot from him this year. His scoring average is way down. So in order
hurt
for them,
for a while. He's getting
been
up
hurt.
there, yeah,
So
yeah.
in order for them to win the next season, I just feel that they need a deeper bench. I mean, they need because you can't rely on. And by the way, DeAndre, I think honestly is the most underrated player in the league.
Absolutely, he's
Dude
amazing.
is
He's so
freaking. He's like Mutombo, Garnett, and all of them in one. He's
Yeah,
just
he just can't shoot free throws.
exactly.
That's the only thing.
He has that with Shaq style. The hack
but
of
that's the only thing. If he can work on that part of his game, he might be one of the best big men in the game.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I would take him probably over the only other big man in the league right now that I would even consider over DeAndre Jordan would be Marc Gasol. And I say that because he's very strong defensively as well, and he can put the ball in.
Yeah.
But who's also the reigning defensive player of the year last year. But anyways, go ahead, man.
No, I was going to ask Captain, what do you think? What
By the
would it take?
Clippers, this is their bench. It is their bench. I was watching them play last night, and it's crazy that y'all said that they was beating the Suns real bad, and Doc Rivers set the starters down. He's like, okay, we got this game, Then with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter,
Yes.
he brought Chris Paul because they benched.
Yeah.
They had Jamal Crawford and everybody else out there, Turkaloo and all those guys out there.
Turkaloo.
Matt Barnes.
and-
Austin Rivers.
Yeah, and all those guys.
He had a nasty
Menser
dunk the other
Didn't
day.
play yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there and Chris Paul going to the scoring table, shaking his head like, man, I got to get back in the
Right.
game. Because they was afraid they was about to lose the game. They was up by 20, and you put your bench in.
Yeah.
You go down, you up by 8 now in the fourth quarter, and you need to win this game. He had to put his guys, so they bench is
Garbage.
I
Yes,
think
terrible.
so my opinion is the bench is kind of garbage. I think what it's going to take for them to win a title, first of all, I think Blake Griffin's a really good player. I think you need to trade Blake Griffin. I don't think he is. I don't think this is what I think. I don't think Blake is a stone cold killer that you need.
He's soft.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
No, I
soft.
love
And
Blake.
I'm going
I
to say
was
that.
at Blake's draft party when he came to the Clippers. Like,
I think Blake's
go way back.
Did you tell him
Awesome.
not to be soft?
See, you going way back. You talking about going way back. We talking about on the court.
A few years back, I hung out with Maddie Burke, who did the internal media for Clippers for a while, and I was asking her at the time what she thought of the guys on the team, and she said straight up at the time, this was 2 seasons ago, that Blake is the closest thing athletically to LeBron in the league. And she
Yes.
thought that in terms of the next guy to be on that level would be Blake. And 2 years later, I think that athletically he is on that level. I just don't think that some guys are winners and some guys aren't. And I think Blake's awesome. I think you can get a lot. If you traded Blake this next year, I think you could get a lot for him. And the second thing is I don't think that Doc Rivers should be the GM. I think GM Doc is failing that team. I think Coach Doc's fine, but GM Doc should not be the guy.
That's a lot on the coach.
Well,
man,
he's
to be the
vice
GM.
president of basketball operations.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's great what he did in the Sterling situation. I just don't think that you're going to win a title when you really think that Austin Rivers would be on that team if Doc Rivers
on.
wasn't
I said the
calling the
same thing.
shots.
He might be
Austin
out the league
Rivers
right now.
There's a video of Blake Griffin straight up insulting Austin Rivers about his game, and Rivers kind of laughing it off. That went viral last week.
Man,
He's-
Austin had one of the nastiest dunks I'd seen. What was this, 2 nights ago on somebody, and that's all I'm gonna say about
He got
Austin.
lucky.
That's
He got
Okay,
lucky.
yeah, I can have a nasty dunk once in a while.
Oh yeah, then you're gonna run a 40, and then we're
got
gonna.
lucky.
Yeah.
But he did go to
Gonna run a
he did go to
4-2-40.
he
Duke.
did shake and bake though.
But he
shake
did
and
go to
bake,
Duke,
and then-
so I like Duke. So he did go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Duke.
Exactly, and he did wonderful things for them.
Great college player.
But I was going to say, as far as Blake Griffin is concerned, I kind of look at him like Carmelo Anthony. I look at him as somebody who's ridiculously gifted, especially Carmelo in isolation, and great, can put up a lot of points, can lead a team, but him and Carmelo are not winners. And that's why I wouldn't want any of them on my team. I think they're freakishly gifted. And athletically,
Athletic,
they're
yeah.
they're through the chain, but they are not winners. And I would say the same thing about Blake. He just doesn't have that.
Can you imagine if they maxed out DeAndre? Chris has probably 2 prime years left in his career, and the haul you could get for Blake Griffin if you traded that guy in the offseason, you could get. I mean, I swear, I think within 2 years they could win a title if they traded Blake. That's my opinion.
What,
But
what if
I
they
just
get Kevin
feel-
Durant
I
next
just
year?
feel like
for
I
Blake?
like the way the Clippers play. Like they've been freaking playing basketball in the backyard with a freaking basket as their hoop for years. Like I just think that how they play together is crazy. Like
exciting.
DeAndre and Blake are good together. Like who knows if DeAndre is going to be the level he is if Blake isn't there. I feel like they come together. They're like the twins. They're best friends. They know each other. They can read each other so well. Like
Well, guess what? Even twins
who-
sometimes get separated at birth. So, they
that
got
wasn't even
drop
a funny
the
joke.
mic.
That
Drop,
wasn't
drop
even
the
a funny
mic.
joke.
Drop the mic. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brittany.
No, forget it. I see we have haters.
Brittany's like, forget it. You
Haters
win,
here.
Kevin. You win. That was
Well,
too
anyways.
good.
No, you're just a hater, and
You know what? Well, I love you guys as well. I have nothing but love. But unfortunately, somebody who did not get love this week was disgraced New Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez. As we all know, Aaron Hernandez formed one of the most exciting tight end tandems with Rob Gronkowski a few years ago for the New England Patriots.
The most exciting in the history of
I'm
the
not saying,
NFL.
yeah, the most
No,
exciting.
yeah.
They broke records, the both of them together. I mean,
crazy.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for opposing secondary. Sorry,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was just a nightmare too. But anyways, regardless, we know he's talented on the field, but unfortunately, he may have not realized all of his abilities and gifts because he threw them away. And on Wednesday morning, he was found guilty of first-degree murder. Just real quick, Captain, you as a football player, when you hear something like that, a verdict like that reached for somebody who is pretty much on the verge of becoming the biggest star, one of the biggest stars.
$80 million contract, just
Huge.
had a baby, like
Yeah, had everything to live for. Nice house, fiance, getting ready to get married, had the baby, everything, and just blows it like that. Because I'm sure you've seen that in your life with other athletes. So what was your reaction to
I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it. It's like the NFL is like a fraternity. We in a fraternity. I felt like kind of bad for him. I was like, man, you know, he was 23 years old at the time when it happened. You know, it was all going up for him. And one decision. It's all gone, man. And it's crazy. It's a crazy situation. I don't know all the facts and all that, you know. Nobody knows but him, you know. So it's just a crazy situation. I was reading on Twitter where some of the guys were reacting to some of his old teammates, like Joe Hayden. And, you know,
I have what Joe Hayden just said, speechless.
Yeah,
like,
and there's a lot of people just reacting off it and
Right.
stuff. And everybody was like, wow, they can't believe it. And you had a couple of guys who went to college with him was like, you know, keep your head up. They called him Chico. His nickname is Chico. So they was telling him to keep his head up and all that. But, man, like I said, he was a star, man. I played against him in college.
Yeah, he won a championship with Florida in 2009.
Yeah, I played against him in college. I played against him in the NFL, and his talent level is unreal. You know, to be that big, to be that fast, and to have strong hands, and his celebrations when he scored. I like to see him score.
Yeah. What was that little he used to do like that little money thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, now he's probably trying to collect all that money that he was throwing out because he's not going to see that again.
Nah.
Now, real quick, you know, I just want to ask you guys on the panel here. I mean, like you said, there was text saying shocked or can't believe this.
Yeah. Brandon Spike said, I'm confused about the justice system these days. And with that, I want to say, too, I wonder if because they kept, like, the media's been saying since, like, all day today, they're like, oh, or all day this week or whatever, they're like, oh, well, he now it's proven that just because he's a Patriots player that he doesn't get, like, a free ride or whatever.
No,
but it's almost like, I wonder if they were trying to prove something by locking him up, you know? Like, if they were trying to say, oh, well, he's a Patriots player, so we're just going to lock him up because he doesn't deserve whatever.
Right.
Because, really, if you looked at the case, like, I watched a lot of the case, and I mean, there's no murder weapon. There's actual no physical evidence that he did it, and for him to get
What was in
guilty,
the box?
Yeah.
They never
What
found
was
the
in the
box.
box?
They never
But they
said
never
it.
found the
And
box.
then again with that, sorry to cut you off, but again with that is he never said he was at the scene until 2 days ago. Like his lawyer should have never told him, don't you tell them people you was at that scene. He said he was at the scene 2 days ago. And I was like, why would he tell him he was at the scene? He was denying the whole time. I didn't do it. I didn't go. 2 days ago, you come out and said you was there. Yeah, I was there. I was at the scene.
I heard that
They
he
heard
actually had to, his lawyers actually had this confirm that he was there because there was surveillance or something that did prove that he was there. So in order for them to gain the integrity or to express that, they had to go ahead and admit that. I'm sorry, Ben. You look like you was about to say something.
Oh, no. It's convoluted, as like you said, the justice system and all that. It was a long-standing trial, and obviously when murder's on the line, it's questionable. I think it's... I'm not going to suggest that I know more than the justice system knows. I mean, if you're accused of killing multiple people and they put you behind bars for it, and you're a star athlete, you probably did it. I mean, if you didn't do it, like, the evidence is probably... Athletes get away with not this, but things frequently.
I feel like some of them, they try to prove a point, though, with
Yeah,
athletes.
that definitely.
And like,
Oh, yeah.
no, we're going to get you for this, even though prior athletes might have done it and got away with it. They try to prove a point of, like, sometimes with certain athletes, maybe if they don't like them. Like, I mean, Aaron Hernandez was tatted up. He wasn't like a Tom Brady, the face of the NFL.
Sure,
you know what
sure.
I mean? There's no way they even tried to protect him at all. I don't know if he did it or not. I mean, I think he might have done it, but life in prison without parole, when there's no physical evidence that he did something, is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's
you know?
Yeah,
That's
it's
steep
true.
right there.
When
And
it's
also-
life with no
That's
parole,
steep.
that's pretty.
Yes.
pretty
And also,
steep.
he's indicted for another murder charge in 2012, which he's
With
going to have to
two,
stand trial.
yeah.
For later. So
Yeah.
He never gonna get out, man.
he is never going to get out.
That's
Well, speaking of not getting out, someone who has been getting out and just making noise on social media. Gotta love my segues.
you have good transitions.
No, that's
yeah.
fantastic.
I try.
Speaking of murder, let's move on to the next subject.
Since I don't have great clothing selections, at least I can have good segues and transitions. But anyway, speaking of getting out, somebody who has been getting out on social media a lot recently, and maybe that's just because he hasn't played in a while, is Lakers' beloved future Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. And just recently, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because we talk about this every week, but just recently, Kobe Bryant, this was earlier this week, came out in defense of Russell Westbrook's 54-point outburst, because I guess Russell attempted 42 or
43 shots.
43 shots.
Yeah.
As a point guard, that's a lot of shots
That's a
to
lot
attempt.
But he's the only guy on his
For
team.
anybody, it's a lot of shots.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to ask you guys. You know, Kobe coming out to defend him and say that we all know Kobe is quite shot happy himself.
Yeah.
So, you know, what was your guys' reaction to this? Why is Kobe coming out defending him? Do you feel Russell took too many with, you know?
Kobe's been on record saying more than once that the closest player to him in the league is Westbrook.
Yeah, he loves Westbrook.
And it's obvious. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's quite true that they don't have anybody, but I think in terms of he's like having one of those great Iverson seasons right now, where he's doing everything and he's scoring a ton and he's just doing. But like they're not going to win with him playing that way. And the thing about Westbrook is, yeah,
Clearly.
the thing about
10
Westbrook,
triple doubles and like 9 losses out of him.
Yeah.
the thing about
That's
Westbrook
crazy.
that's tough is like for him to be, there's this theory that people have talked about before. It's 90% of what Westbrook does is amazing, but the 10% that he does wrong is so frustrating that it's almost like when he does that stuff, you forget how great the 90% is. And I think that that's kind of the case. I don't care how well you score. If you take 43 shots and your team's not winning, there's probably something wrong. I love Westbrook. He's probably the most exciting player to watch in the NBA, but that's a tough situation to be in, man.
Yeah, he got to take the Durant shots though. You know, Durant's not there, so I feel like they don't have no scores like that.
It's true.
You know, they got waiters and you know they got a couple guys that come off the bench, but they don't have no scores. So he got to take all the shots. He feel like, okay, Durant's not here. Let me take the shots. And he took all the shots. And you know, Kobe had a great argument though. You know, he had 54 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists.
Yeah.
That's still pretty
Almost
good.
another triple-double.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good, but he did take 43 shots and he was 49% though, so he was hitting half of his shots. But
He just launches like 35-foot three-pointer after 35-foot
he
three-pointer.
do that. He's out of control
He's
sometimes.
a career 33% shooter. That's the terrible. You should not be shooting if you shoot 33%.
Yeah, you're right, but he's out of control.
It's true.
And
Who else shoots threes, right? Anthony Morrow.
yeah, that's it.
Jamal Crawford. He takes
No,
some
I mean,
wild
Jamal.
threes.
On the Thunder.
I just
Yeah.
want to say that. I just want to say that to get
Jamal
you riled up.
might hit his though. He'd be taking threes. You'd be like, "What is he? Oh,
I know, right? Like, okay.
Yeah.
sit back." Like, Jamal pretty nice.
All right. Well, speaking of nice, let's talk to the Mr. Nice Man that's on this panel right here. Now, Captain, you know, we talked about Russell taking a lot of shots and all this other stuff. Speaking of shots, you actually got an interesting shot at life. You were born.
Good transition, Kev. I love it. I love it.
You were, although your shot at life is pretty, should I say, abnormal compared to other babies. You know, you were born extremely premature, 3 pounds. I want to say somewhere around there.
Yep, 3 months early too.
3 months early,
Wow.
Yeah,
3
that's wild.
pounds. You know, and obviously, I know your upbringing. You weren't born in Beverly Hills with the
silver spoon. In my
the
mouth.
silver spoon in your mouth in a wealthy, affluent neighborhood. So, my advice, I guess my question to you is first of all, overcoming that and dealing with that, do you consider yourself just a blessing or a walking miracle?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a walking miracle and a blessing at the same time. I'd have been through a lot, and it made me the person I am now. It made me the person who I am today. So, me being 3 months premature, I've been fighting my whole life. I've been fighting my whole life, coming into this world. So I always joke with my mom and, a couple of my family members. I was like, hey, Mom, if you could have held me in a little bit longer, I'd probably be 6'2" now.
But you wouldn't have been a defensive back, though, if you were 6'2".
That's what I told her. So it always a
It
blessing.
all works out.
Yeah, it all worked out. And like I said, life wasn't easy growing up in the beginning. Me being from Alabama, I had brothers going in and out of prison. So it wasn't easy, but I got through it. And I always say, look at me now.
Yeah.
How did you get that name, Captain?
My mama
Good
promised
question.
my grandmama she can name the last child. And I'm the baby boy of the family. And she scarred me with the name Captain.
It's the best name in the NFL.
Exactly.
it's
Straight
pretty
up.
cool.
Like,
It is awesome.
But you know the
I mean,
jokes
if-
I got growing up.
Captain
Crunch,
Saberhole, right?
Captain Saberhole.
Yes.
Captain
NorCal
D's
thing.
nuts.
Captain D's nuts.
that's a good one.
I was just saying.
Do you have a T-shirt that says that? I hope you do.
No, I ain't
you
got
do.
one. But I got all these jokes growing up, but it fits my personality. I feel like I'm a leader on and off the field, and I'm really the life of the party everywhere I go.
I see that.
People talking about your name being so great. Who's got the second best name in the NFL?
I say Major Wright. His name is
Yeah,
Major.
that's a really good one. That's a
Major
good one.
Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Major, that is pretty
Yeah,
dope. I
Major.
mean,
Yeah.
Major Payne, remember that?
My name is Major.
Brittany just comes out with the impersonation there. I love
I watch
that.
that movie all the time.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, no, that is good. Now, you said you had to fight all your life, All my life I had to fight. Name that movie real
Color
quick.
Purple.
There you go. All right. So anyways, so, you being a fighter, you were taken in the first round or the second round or the third round or the fourth round or the fifth round or the sixth round. You were taken in the 7th round. Do you feel, first of all, that you should have been taken earlier?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. You know, as a junior, I came out as a junior. I turned in my grade sheet, and the grade sheet came back and said you would get drafted from the 1st round to the 3rd round. I was like, phew, I'm gone. I'm not coming back to school. I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. And, you know, I sat there. I had a great combine. I worked out pretty good. And, you know, some comments got to spread around. You know, you hear rumors that, oh, he's from here. He's not this type of player. He's not that guy and this and that. And I just dropped in the draft. You know, I'm sitting there watching the draft. You know, I get a phone call. I'm like, well, they about to call me. They get my information. I'm like, man, what's going on? What's going on? I'm sitting there, you know, a little panicking, everything. You know, we're sitting at my mom's house. And I'm sitting there like, man, my name might not get called. I'm like, man, I came out of school early as a junior. And when the Carolina Panthers made the phone call, I promised the coach, I said, you finna get the best cornerback at 5'9" that you can get.
Wow.
And I went out there and, you know, I ripped it. I started from
And
the
you
bottom.
eventually earned a starting spot,
Yeah, I started from the bottom. I always say, you know, I started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Gosh, Vanilla Ice.
Just button my jacket here.
He's got some street cred for that right there. man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really happening. Now I think me falling in the draft really helped me because if I would have went early, I don't know what type of player I would have been. I don't think I would have worked as hard, or you know, I probably got all that money because back then we was getting paid a whole lot of money when you got drafted. You know,
Yeah, the
early.
signing bonuses were,
Yeah, it
were
was
nice.
before the
It was
revision
crazy.
of the
Yeah,
CBA.
before- yeah, it was before the CBA.
Bradford got like the 55 guaranteed or whatever.
Yeah, so it was before that.
Jamarcus Russell got that
Yeah.
huge
Yeah,
guarantee.
yeah.
Don't talk about Jamarcus. He's from Mobile, Alabama. He's from Alabama.
Hey, I got love for Jamarcus. Please, we want to see you back in that league, okay? We want to see you.
You won't see him back in the league.
No, I saw a thing last year
He's
when he was trying to
330
do like a
pounds.
Yeah.
comeback.
Yeah, but
What?
I just seen him the other day.
That weighs more than Shaq.
He's 330 some pounds. I seen him at a little league game, and I was like, oh my! I was like, he's like young fella. I was like, I was like Jamarcus.
Oh my
I guess we know where
God.
that money's going.
Yeah, he's done.
Food.
He's eating well.
They,
Yeah, he's real
they
good.
recouped some of it after the Raiders got
Well,
some.
No,
he's
but
eat-
he
he's
did-
eating
He had
the
so
rest
much
of it.
guaranteed.
But then he sued them a couple years ago, and they had to give him $4 million.
Wow.
Like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I do
Jeez.
remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's
well,
unfortunate.
He's eating that $4 million.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask really quickly.
Oh.
So you talked about 7th round draft pick and all that. 7th round picks often don't even make the roster.
Nope.
I mean, it's a huge fight from the very beginning. So when you got the contract from the Vikings, and it was a 3-year contract,
Mm-hmm.
right? What kind of a sigh of relief was that compared to the day you got drafted? I mean, that was like, this is a real thing. I earned this. I
Yeah.
made it. Yeah. How did that feel?
It felt great. It felt great. I was sitting there, and I was gone the second day of free agency. You know, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, you got some guys just still waiting around and this
Yeah.
and that. But they was calling me, but right before free agency starting, like, oh, come take a visit, this and that. Then, you know, they offered me a 5-year deal in Minnesota, and I was like, oh, it's kind of cold up there.
Right.
I don't know if I want to be there for 5 years, you know, and I want to get another contract before I'm 30.
Sure.
So, and when I signed that contract, man, it was like, man, like, I was like, man, God is good. You know,
Yeah.
Amen.
I stayed committed to what I wanted to do. You know, I worked hard. I came up from the 7th round, and like I said, look at me now. I worked hard, and it paid off. It paid off.
Look at me now. I'm making paper. Name that song. Name that song. Anyways, I think that was Bieber or something. But
Let's keep rolling, Ken. Let's keep rolling.
all right. But you know, see now I forgot my damn question. No, you know, obviously it is a sigh of relief to earn that much. You know, to get that first contract. How much pressure did you feel after signing that? And you know, how did you deal with that?
It was a whole lot of pressure. I was going back and forth, man. I really didn't know. I was like, man, you know, I signed this big deal, so all eyes are always on me. If somebody messed up in the secondary, you know, in my position, it's like, man, Captain, you got to fix this. And I'm like, oh gosh, like, I don't know if I signed up for this, but I you know, I got big shoulders. I'm used to it. So I was the veteran in the room, but I didn't have my best year of football last year. I don't think I played my best year of football. Like I said, like some guys joke with me, like, nah, you got that money and got contented. It wasn't that. It's just a new environment for me. I'm in cold weather. We playing outside.
It's hard.
And then they didn't tell me we was playing outside until after I signed my contract. If I was before that, I probably went somewhere else.
Well, speaking.
So,
Go ahead, Brittany.
so as a veteran in the league, I know everyone remembers the first time they got on that field. What do you tell the rookies now coming in, like when they're going into, you know, it's you guys are about to go back into
Yeah.
camp and stuff. Like, what do you tell these new young guys that are going to be joining you?
Oh man, you got to stay relaxed and like you did in high school. I go out there, I don't get starstruck and be like, oh man, I'm going against Terrell Owens. You know, when I first got to the NFL, I'm going against Randy Moss. You got to treat these guys like they normal people and go out there and play football and compete and make plays.
Yeah. What was your biggest fear?
I was playing Randy Moss one time, and my coach told me, I was starting. I was my rookie season. They put me in the starting lineup. I'm like, yeah. They put me in the starting lineup playing against Tom Brady and Randy Moss. I'm like, yeah. My coach called me over there. He said, Captain, come here. He's like, nah, don't be. Literally, I was nervous as whoo. Yeah. I just went showing to everybody, but I was over there on my own little zone. I was like, Lord have mercy, I got Randy Moss. I don't know who else. I used to play 2K. I used to play the Randy Moss game with him. And I'm over there like, I got starstruck. I was a rookie. And I was like, man. So I'm out there playing against Randy Moss. And my coach said, okay, Captain, if you see Randy Moss' hands go up, just grab him. Just grab him. That means you in trouble.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady drops back for a pass. Randy Moss, he give me a little move. I grabbed him. I slipped. And his hand went up. I said, Lord have mercy. I said, no. So I just started running. I said, please. I tripped him up and everything. He didn't get to catch the ball. So my coach was like, Captain, good job. He said, I told you. They didn't call the flag.
You're like, I got away with it.
Got away with it.
I got away.
Man.
He was hot. He was like, oh, man, you know, he real country. He talked real country. Yeah. Oh, no, man, Ralph, that was a flag, man. No. I can't believe that. You can't do that.
Randy Moss
Nate Burleson did one earlier.
Burleson's impression is good.
Randy Moss one as well.
Yeah.
He's so country, man. Randy Moss is so country, but he's a great dude, though.
No, incredible athlete, too. Now, real quick, you said that you were referencing how you didn't play as well last year with the contract and one thing. I actually have a quote that you said to TwinCities.com, and you said, quote, I have to go back to being Captain Munnerlyn and making plays. I can do a lot of things better. I know what I'm capable of doing. At that particular point in time, did you feel that there was a threat or a possibility that they could have moved you down in the depth chart? Or
I'm always thinking that, man. Being an older guy, and like I said, this is my 7th season, so it's like, they always want to draft and get young. That's the NFL. They want to get young. I don't know why it's like that, but that's how it is. And, I'm always on the eggshells, when it comes to stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I like the competition. I like to compete. And I think it brings out the best of everybody, the room. If you bring in somebody, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to bust them. That's what I do. That's what I do.
I'm going to bust them.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I like the competition. Like I said, I didn't play my best football last year. I'll be the first one to admit to it. It went awful. It wasn't like I was getting scored on every play or nothing like that, but I just felt like I could have did a whole lot of things better. And I wasn't myself. Like I said, I don't make excuses for myself, nothing like that. I just wasn't myself, and I'm ready to show him this year. I'm excited.
Heard that. Hopefully we won't see any more tripping of legs.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I want to ask you, you said last month on a local radio show in Minnesota, they asked you how important Adrian Peterson was to the franchise. And your response was just
I remember that.
The most important player. So my question is, he's I think 29 years old or 30.
He's 30. He's just turned 30.
And we all know that the statistical drop off for running backs at 30 is pretty.
Not with this guy.
Yeah. Well, he's a cyborg. He's a cyborg. Everyone knows that.
Adrian.
So he's a specimen right here.
Yes, not this guy.
So what I'm wondering is this. Bridgewater was a rookie, and obviously the biggest jump for players comes between like the first and the second year. So if you figure Peterson's got maybe 2 more years of like really prime football, what do you think what's it look like for the Vikings the next couple of years?
We're gonna be scary.
You think so?
Be scary, yes. We're gonna be scary because you got to think about we had a rookie quarterback last year.
He looked good at the end of the year
I
too.
like Teddy,
with no running
Louisville.
game.
Sorry, go ahead.
With no running game. 0 running game. We didn't have the Adrian Peterson back there. Adrian Peterson would have took a whole lot of pressure off Teddy, but Teddy had to feel that pressure because we was throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah,
we threw the ball a lot, and Teddy did a great job at it. But man, if we get Adrian Peterson, we're gonna be scary. We're gonna be scary. Well, I joked with him last time I texted him. I was like, hey, if you don't come back here, they're gonna make you retire like Barry Sanders. So they're not gonna let you go. So you might well come to workouts.
Yeah, he's totally like inhuman. That guy's amazing. You said you didn't have a running game, but you did have Jerick McKinnon, and people talk about that guy like he's like the most physically gifted, like sort of one of these like really raw. No, it wasn't like that.
Well, he's a rookie. He was a rookie. No, I like him. No, I like his game.
Yeah.
I love his game actually, but he was a rookie, and it's hard to come in as a rookie, playing at Georgia Southern to the NFL. You know, it's a big jump. That's a big jump. He didn't come from Oklahoma or a SEC school or a Pac-10 school or whatever it's called. Y'all don't play real football like this way.
Pac-12?
Yeah, y'all don't play.
Pac-12?
Y'all don't play real football out here. You know that.
Right, excuse me? Disrespectful.
Y'all don't play real football out here.
Wow.
I'm an SEC guy. Y'all don't play real football out
But
here.
you guys do have the most busts as far as like guys that come into the league, I think.
We faster.
But you guys have a lot of busts. Like a lot of your first rounders just don't
You're right.
transfer
We don't pan out.
You guys were good in college, but
Yeah, you're
you
right.
should have stayed
Shade
there.
right now.
There's a lot of shade. I'm just letting
Well,
this go
he's
on.
talking about the Pac-12. I
I'm
gotta be
biased.
West Coast, Best Coast.
But y'all are not that good out here. Y'all conference is terrible.
I don't know about that. I mean, have you seen
put
Oregon? Have you seen
but
USC?
That
Have
don't
you-
count because they only playing against who? Who they gonna play against? UCLA? Or who else are they gonna play
USC,
against?
Washington,
Oregon.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Washington. Come on, y'all serious?
Hey, come on, man. I'm
You
from
gotta,
Seattle.
you
Let's
gotta
be
bring
fair.
your you gotta bring your A game every day in the SEC or you'll lose.
I do agree.
You can play Arizona or somebody and you just like, oh, we're gonna beat Rich Rodriguez now. No, there's nothing.
No, I totally understand. SEC is a lot more competitive. I do agree.
Yeah.
But speaking of competitive, man, your fashion game is extremely competitive. And
Twice
you know,
in one show.
I just want to get in. No, seriously, I'm looking at this dude's fashion. I'm like, I know he has something else going on. You know, just seriously, I told him earlier he could be like a Gillette or a Colgate guy. But speaking of that, and I mean that in a
Nothing
very
to do with fashion.
I mean that in a very heterosexual way, by the way. You know, just I mean, not that there's anything wrong with anything like. Anyway, all right. So anyway, it's like a Hugh
Grant movie right now.
Stop. Just
Anyways.
play ahead.
I know, right? Steve, turn my mic off, please. Just kidding. But I was going to ask, Captain. You know, a lot of times, you know, we've actually interviewed quite a few NFL players recently that in their off season they're pursuing film or fashion or production or rapping. True
Nate
story.
Burleson is a legit rapper.
Yeah, I got a teammate right now think he's gonna be a rapper, and I'll be sitting there like, are you serious? Let it go, man. You see Kobe tried it, Shaq tried it, let them guys try it. They let it go.
Dion
Yeah.
had a good
Dion was good.
Must be the Monday.
Dion was good at it though.
I'll put it like this.
Dion was pretty good though.
I don't know about that.
Must be the money song.
That was the most cheese ball. That's
He said his bank account was finna change everything, baby. Dion was the
Nick Cannon has
man.
better bars than
But Dion
Deion
was the
Sanders.
man though. Dion was the man.
He was the man on the field.
He had a song with Hammer. Who had a song with Hammer?
Man,
Dion.
Psy did a
Dion
song
was
with him.
good. And Shaq was good too.
Shaq was good. I bought
Shaq fool?
Shaq Diesel.
I
That was
know
good.
you did.
Yeah.
Don't
I
forget
got
about,
Shaq
don't
Diesel.
forget about Ricky Waters. He had something going on back
Ricky
in the 90s.
Waters?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Never.
He did. Yeah, he has a music video and everything. My older brother had a CD. I remember.
No, man. Ricky Waters.
Well, anyways, are you a rapper? What do you do?
No, I'm
off
not
season,
I'm
or
not
what
a
are
rapper.
you looking to do?
I like to bowl. I think I'm competitive.
awesome.
and everything.
Bowler?
Yeah.
Competitive bowler?
Yeah, I'm really good.
What's your
What's
highest
your
score?
height? Yeah.
Me and Brittany are on the same page.
I probably
I got
bowled like 265.
Okay.
Damn. So that's like at
Respectable.
least 8 strikes when you get a 2.
I was hot that
Anytime
day.
you're over 250, that's at least 8 strikes.
I was hot that day. I was feeling myself. But I'm consistent. I'm from between 175 to 2 something. I'm consistent.
What's your swag? Do you have like some custom shoes, a sweet
Yeah,
ball?
no, well, I do this
Suits.
I do this little thing with my
Some
foot
cleavage.
that make everybody laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get up there,
Okay.
wagging my feet, and everybody like, why do you always do that every time? I got to. If I don't, the ball gonna go everywhere. So that's my focus. I have to.
So you wiggle your feet.
Yeah, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll.
So
I
professional bowler.
beat
after
somebody
football.
left-handed before. I beat a guy left-handed. We actually had a film crew, and he wanted to challenge me bowling, and I beat him
You
left-handed.
beat him left-handed?
Yeah.
So how good
Wow.
was he? He must have not been that good then. And
He
that.
was pretty good. He was all right, but he let me. I talk mess. You know, I'm a
Kevin.
talker. I talk trash,
I love that.
and I got in his head. I was like, I got you. You know, the film now too. You know, I gotta look good on TV, baby.
Yeah, right? You can't mess that up.
Yeah.
You gotta. You probably wiggled the feet a little more for the television.
I was
Started dancing, gyrating out there.
Gyrating? Who
You know,
says that?
I don't know. On the Branded Athlete, we say everything. So, no, that's
Gyrating. It sounds like something my daddy would say. Y'all gyrating tonight?
If we gonna hit the gyrate and cut a rug, you know. Hey, we get in country, but I'm curious. Do you ever have an aspiration to do anything entertainment wise?
Yeah, I actually want to be a sports commentator. I think I'd be good at it.
I think you have a
You
great
think
personality.
you could do this? This is hard work.
I know,
okay?
yeah, it is kind of hard work. It is. But now, I thought about coaching. I wanted to go back to Alabama and coach my high school, but it don't look like that's gonna work.
Why you say that?
Yeah, why is that?
Because somebody don't want to move down to Alabama because of their hair.
Oh,
The humidity, I got you though. I used to live in Atlanta, and I was like, no.
He's referencing our special guest, Miss Keisha, who's in the building.
She's talking about I'm not going down there. My hair and. Are you serious?
That humidity is real, though.
argument,
That
though.
humidity is real,
Yeah.
right?
I want to coach my high school, and you tell me I can't go
You
down
better
there.
ship them all to somewhere else.
Look, Captain, we've all got dreams, man. Some people it's their hair, okay? You just gotta be fair.
Yeah, I'm losing mine, so I don't care.
Right? Hey, you and me both.
But yeah, she said I can't go down there and coach my high school. But coaching is tough, man. I tell guys all the time, I don't see how they do it. That's a hard job. You been away from your family, your wife, and all that, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I don't want to be away from home like that. That's too much.
Oh.
I had one
too
quick
much.
question, real quickly, on back to football for a minute. So that
One quick question, really quickly.
Sorry, I'm so excited I got tripped up. Like cornerback is like one of the marquee positions in football nowadays. I mean, the way that back in Deion's day it really wasn't as much. I mean, now you have the Patrick Petersons and the Reeveses and the Shermans of the world getting max contracts. I mean, huge amounts of money for position. 2 years from now, when your contract with the Vikings is up, where do you want to play? I mean, obviously you're going for a contract like that. I'm sure that would be the goal. So what would the ideal scenario be? Somewhere warm?
Yeah, definitely somewhere warm. But the new stadium will be
Without
built.
humidity.
Chargers will take you, or L.A. and Carson when that stadium's built.
But with the Vikings, the stadium will be done. So I'm on a contract with those guys. So but I don't know.
You remember he doesn't like LA traffic. So
Nah.
that
Yeah.
makes so
That
sad.
is true.
But I fell
That
in
is-
love with Carolina. I did. Everybody, my teammates now, they always joke with me and like, man, you want to go back to Carolina, don't you? It's not that. I love the game of football and I love competing, but I do love Charlotte. Yeah, I think because I went to college close by, so I love Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte's a
Fair
great
enough.
place.
Yeah.
Great place. Now, we have to wrap it up shortly, but just real curious, one of my last questions, what is the one thing you want to accomplish before death?
Before death? Before I die?
Gosh,
you die.
Kevin.
You just got real, Kev.
I like it. No, I
Rapid
mean,
fire.
I got a lot.
oh, a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your top 3 things on your bucket list.
Before
Bucket
I
list
die.
for the next let's do 5 years.
You just named some
Your
sweet
5-year
stuff. That's probably good
bucket
enough,
list.
man.
Well, Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, I do want to have a Super Bowl ring.
That's all 5 of them, actually.
Super Bowl ring. Super Bowl ring. And Super Bowl
I know, right?
Well, now Super Bowl ring and I don't know, man. That's tough.
That's an on-the-spot question. If you asked me that question, I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
You know, Ben, I know that you would open up a suit for men. And I know that's one thing. That has to be
Sponsored by Men's Warehouse.
The classiest. Just the classiest.
That was a good one.
Every week.
Well, speaking of questions, there's a thing we like to end every show with. It's called Rapid Fire. And who would like to do the honors today
I'll rattle them off. I'd love
You're
to
out
have
of
you.
Okay, I'll time you. So
Give me your
basically,
huge watch.
I'll explain. And for those at home that this is your first time tuning in, our guest has exactly 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. They cannot phone a friend. They cannot ask for help or use another lifeline. All right, it's serious business.
Question number 1. What do you want to accomplish before death?
Oh, you're just saying.
Better make sure he doesn't see my
That is true. That is true.
All right.
All right.
Good like that.
Are you ready?
No, I
You
ain't
didn't see
ready. I ain't
it.
ready.
60 seconds,
Let's
man.
go.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
What receiver are you most terrified to guard?
Steve Smith.
Favorite Bible scripture?
Philippians 4:13.
All right. Guilty pleasure.
Don't have one.
Boom. You can't pass. You can't pass.
No passing.
We'll come back around.
Okay.
Biggest inspiration?
Pass.
Oh, no. Favorite movie of all time?
Friday.
That's a good answer. One thing no one would know about you?
That nobody don't know about
Yeah.
me? I used to shave my legs.
Last person you texted?
My mom.
Favorite teammate of all time, college or NFL?
Jasper Brinkley.
Loudest stadium you ever played in?
The New Orleans Dome.
You got 15 seconds. 15.
Celebrity crush?
Ooh. I used to have one on Ashanti.
All
the
right.
singer.
Back to these other ones. Guilty pleasure?
5 seconds.
Biggest inspiration. Biggest inspiration.
Give me a person. 3 seconds. 2.
Deion Sanders.
1. Boom! Must be the money. All right. Yes. And he finished that. There you have it. Good job on that, man. He
That
finished
was
it in
pretty
about.
good.
That's
I
pretty
should have
good.
said Johnny Manziel because I'm just.
Yeah, right.
Wow. I don't know if we want to praise him now. Anyways, good luck to you,
Thanks
Johnny.
for the help, man.
Yeah, Steven's the man. Steven is the man.
Press release. Captain Munnerlyn shaves his legs. Moving on.
That's actually pretty good. That's going to be the first one on there.
I don't think nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
We got the exclusive.
He's like,
We
I
got the
wouldn't be here if I knew that.
Right?
Too good.
I used to think it was gonna make me faster. I promise. I was like, man, before games and stuff, I just go in there.
I think
Yeah.
swimmers
Shade.
do that. Like swimmers, like
I'll be
I
honest.
did it 'cause
my-
I used to wear tights when
My
I ran track,
roommate,
so-
my roommate used to be a corner. He was Division III, but he did the same thing.
Yeah, I just shake my said it's gonna make me faster. It'll give me the edge.
So I just thought of something. Instead of you being a spokesperson for Gillette or Colgate, spokesperson for Nair. All right, the first man
I'm with it.
spokesperson's for Nair.
Well, Gillette does have a shaving cream and everything too, so you're good there.
Captain would be the all-purpose
Yeah.
rep.
We're speaking that into existence.
Shaving cream, toothpaste, shave the whole deal.
If you want to get
Oh,
a hold
you
of
heard-
him, Gillette, just call us. We'll hook you guys up.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll-
The branded athlete. That's what
Yeah.
we do here.
yeah, clearly we're branding him as that. Well, guys, as you can see it, this is another show in the wraps. We thank you guys so much for joining. We hope you guys enjoyed the show, learned some new things, and had a great time as much as we did here. Real quick before we get out of here, let's go around and say where they can find you at. Starting off with Ben.
Ben Bateman. You can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope.
Brittany.
I still don't know what this
Neither do
Periscope
I.
is,
Gotta
but
get on it.
anyways, you can
What's
find
that?
me. I am Britt Johnson on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or you can check out my website at BrittanyJohnson.com.
Captain Munnerlyn, you can find me on Twitter at Captain_41.
Yes, indeed. There you go. And I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HeyKevinJohn. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Captain, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
having me.
Salute the captain, as we do here. And we will see you guys next week, same time, same place. Thanks a lot for watching.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.